Recording in progress.
Well, good evening, everyone around the world, everywhere in the globe today. First of all, let me introduce what I IU is. International Internship University. IIU is the world's first internship-based virtual university, building a better and brighter future for all young learners, and is committed to providing quality, accessible, affordable, skill-based, and location-independent education to learners across the world. IIU is providing access to more than 1,000 plus courses and internships to their e-learners across the globe with a team of high caliber and experienced global educators. IIU has been accredited and affiliated with the World Education Organization WEO and International Accreditation Organization IAO, and collaborated with all the world's top universities and educational institutions through the platform of massive open online courses MOOC. IIU provides various certificates and diploma courses. There is always that one person who has the vision, the thought, the idea behind a successful future and organization. And if we talked about the man behind the success of IIU, is none than other our beloved the co-founder IIU, Mr. Pugh Bandit. He concocted the world's first virtual internship university during the pandemic, and the International Internship University, the IIU, is the best for all. So please, people around the world, this is the first and the best I have ever seen the virtual universities. Ladies and gentlemen, and all the listeners around the world, I'm now trying to present my idea about education and global collaboration in research and publication. I'm Dr. Djuwari from University of Nahdlatul Ulama Surabaya, Indonesia. Want to participate to support the IIU, the best virtual university we have ever seen. Audience, now let's go with my topics. So in this case, I would like to start with the perception of everyone around the world. First, then we go to talk about how to crystallize the values in the global arena. We know that now we live around the world in the globes with different perspectives, but if we try to share the universal values, I believe that collaboration across the borders will be done very easily. Now let's this one, global vision and metaphor. Now if the we people, if we look at this kind of picture, there will be a different perspective. Yeah, this is I just want to tell about the people when sailing together, and then during the journey, along the journey, in the middle of the journey, the three people on the boat here saw a big trees on the island. What are they thinking and that attitude? But how they can also unite and enjoy in the same perspective so that they can uh, collaborate. The first one is an artist. Yeah, the first one here is an artist. When he watched that kind of pictures, then he tries to do a sketching. So believe that his background is about an art, and the attitude toward the same object will be doing a sketching, a beautiful painting. When he arrives at home, he will draw or do a kind of the beautiful painting. The second person is an architect. While watching the same object, that is the big trees on the island, then he tries to calculate, yeah, about the cost, how if we cut all the trees and build a house made of wood, and the total cost, and then we sell. This is the second person watching the same object on the during the journey. The last one is the religious man. While watching that kind of object, then suddenly, yeah, he remembers the God Almighty, and then he thinks that this is the creature, the nature created the Creator so beautifully, and he have to be thankful and grateful to the Lord. So if we look at that kind of uh, perception, people around the world, even though only three people, they have different attitude because they have different perception toward the same object. However, when they have the same vision, that is to enjoy the nature through sailing on the same boat, then they can also live happily and share the value of enjoyment, the nature together. And that is actually the metaphor people around the world. And IU is also the best university that can give you a perspective so that we have a global vision to be able to collaborate with other people around the world. Now, countries with their typical characters. Global countries, for example, social, economic, and psychological, cultural, and many others aspects. But whenever we try to be very specific in our perception without considering other values that can be shared together, then it is impossible for us to be able to collaborate with other people with different perspectives. So try to get an understanding of having the same values. In this case, we are going to talk about research and education and publication. So many memorandum of understanding or memorandum of agreement have been signed, but there is a tendency that there is no follow up after that. And we believe because each of the parties that have already signed together on MOU do not learn lots about the values of different perspectives, then do not try to share the universal values that can be shared together. And this is my topic, especially when we start doing the collaboration among the countries around the world. So we try to share the values, whether it is social, economic, psychological, cultural, many other aspects. And from these values, then we can go on doing a collaboration. And we try to find out any universities wherever they have we can also try to collaborate with other people from different faculties from different countries, but the same values should be shared together, and vision and mission is the most important to learn here. And we have already learned about, for example, a vision and vision mission that is adopted by the IIU here in our best virtual university that I have already introduced to you. From this point of view, then we can go around the world. Yeah. Now, what we have to do is crystallizing some universal values among universities, colleges across the borders. We have to learn about cultures, we have to learn about social values, we have to learn about psychological aspects that are actually adopted by any universities. And I believe it can be also seen or read or learn from their vision and mission. By looking at the vision and mission, then social values that they have and psychological aspect that they have been practiced, and even economic system that in the country especially adopted, and cultural aspect, and try to get the same values that are universal, and we adopt together. And this is universal values shared universities college. And I believe IIU is in the central like this universal values set together, because IIU also have their borderless relationship and also collaboration. And this is actually the most important thing. That is an MOU that after being signed together among the universities or parties should be also started with this kind of learning about crystallization of the universal values. I have two offers. Yeah, the first offering you from the top-down research partnership with industries. Why should be with industries? And then we can also share together with universities in other countries, for example. So top-down partnership, for example, if we have already got the curriculum ready with us, with our own university or college, then try to learn about vision and mission of other industries around the world, or in your own country or in our own country. And from the vision or the mission, try to get the same values that are universal, and then synergizing. Synergy is the last result of sharing the values that we have already shared. And from then I believe that the collaboration can be done very easily, and therefore the signature of MOU and MOA can be done and follow up with the program in the future and the long term, and even beyond, unlimited, depending on how we have to make it sustainable in our collaboration with other universities around the world. The second one is, so what is meant by top-down? We have already good curriculum. Yeah, for example, then our curriculum is communicated to other industries. And then in industries, then we can also work together, whether we offer the system of working or whether we offer research together with them, in order we can create new values for both our universities and industries that can be shared together. And this is mutual benefit both for the universities and industries. Without learning the vision and mission and synergizing, it is impossible we can collaborate together with industries and also universities among the globe here. The second option is bottom-up partnership. Make sure that, for example, if we don't know or we don't have very established curriculum about a certain result of research and so on, then we try to go to industry first. So we learn lots from the industries, and we try to learn about the mechanism of the work and system and so on and so forth together with them, and try to learn their vision and mission and synergizing with our curriculum, and we create a curriculum. So the curriculum is based on the reality what is happening in the industries. This is the research. Yeah, this is the research related to each other among the universities and industries among the countries or across the board. And how about the result of the research? Ladies and gentlemen and audience around the world, most of the research are reported, and whenever we have a report of the research, that it must be in writing. So universities can be said publish or perish. Universities without publication, university without written object, the universities without the output that are written, then sooner or later they will perish. So publish or perish. After we have collaborated with the universities together and also across the countries or the borders around the world, and also with the industries. Why with industries? Because we cannot separate our life, universities, with whatever is happening in our environment in any country. Yeah, and the result can also be written and make a report scientifically based on the writing mechanism. Then we publish it in a certain journal publication that have already got their index. We have ProQuest, we have Scopus, we have Google Scholars, we have NISA, we have EBSCO, and so on and so forth. Why? Because by spreading our result of the products of research that we have already done, meaning that we can also communicate our vision and mission, and also the result of the collaboration that are based on the values we have shared together with all the parties, whether they are industries or other universities, all the countries around the world. And from this, then researchers or faculties or teachers around the world in universities can also communicate their mind. What is meant mind here is the field of science. If you are education, then your field in education. If you are mathematics, your field of mathematics. Across the borders, published in an international journal publication. And from this, research article and thesis writing also from our students can also be based on this kind of research, global collaboration. And this is the values that we can share. I believe not no universities has no value of the ethic of publishing the article or research. So research can also be done together, can be shared together mutually among the universities and industries around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, and this is about the product of the research that we have done by collaboration not only with universities around the world, but also with industries in our own countries and even across the borders of other countries around the world. And IU, I believe, will be ready for this by doing some of the research together with industries and also with the universities around the world with us here. And I also hope that we can also get in touch with this sustainably using the global collaboration for research and publication. And I just want to focus on the journal that is already registered. I just got it 3 years ago here. So director open a journal here, access journal, DOAJ here, also good for us to look at. So we have to visit this. So after we have already joined together for collaboration, and then we create the product of the result of the research for collaboration and publish it, we also know that our result of the product of the research can be published in this DOAJ. So DOAJ is also the list of the published journal registered, and also some of the index that I have already presented previously. And this is the example of the trend of academic journal publication in special for ASEAN. We can also learn from other countries across the globe here in the world here, whether it is in Europe, Western countries, and America, Australia, Africa, and Asia. And this is the example in Asia. The trend now is going so very drastically. So the number of the publication is going again and again, and therefore it is also time for us to get opportunities for doing a collaboration across the borders for doing research. Then we can also publish together, and the result can also be implemented. If it is related to the vocational education like industries, then we can also support our ideas to the people for workers and human resource development. But if it is related to our scientifically, for example, then it can also develop our science or field of science, for example, education, mathematics, biology, and so on and so forth. And that is the trend. If that is the case, then collaboration and research is now the prevailing topic, and I believe every faculty in any universities is demanding to publish their research journal. Even the doctoral degree, if they have finished their dissertation, they also apply to publish an article in the international journal publication here. And this is the trend. And building mutual partnership, this is the key success here. Ladies and gentlemen around the world, why, as I said in the beginning of my presentation, most of the MOU that have been signed together between two parties or parties, usually there is no follow-up for the sustainable program. And this is I got from the reference, that is how to make our partnership, global collaboration, sustainable. Number one, find partners with a shared vision and goals. So as I told you in the beginning about perception and values, try to get the partners with a shared vision and goal. Then remember that leadership matters. Please, any leaders in universities, if we want to have partners, if we want to have a collaboration, the first meeting, it should be between the top leaders. Don't send only a staff, the lower staff, for negotiation. Why? Because they will not be able to make the decision. So remember that leadership matters. If we want to have collaboration, then the top leaders among the universities, the both parties, should meet. Don't send only a staff. Why staff cannot make a decision? So the top leaders should be. That is the key. That is very crucial. The next one is get creative with money and donation. So money can be also undertaken by making the proposal, and also try to get the sponsors. Hopefully any university has allocation of the budget for research. Yeah, I believe there is a part or portion of allocation of research, but we can also get a grant from the government or and any other institution that needs the result of the research. Therefore, as the previous slide, top down and bottom up, going to industries and try to create values with industries, I believe there will be a kind of, you know, budget for them. And then get it in writing. This is the weakness. Any negotiation, any meeting for collaboration should be written, yeah, in writing. In order we know and we have a document for the follow-up and learning what we have to do in the future. Yeah. If there is no document in writing about this kind of collaboration, meeting, negotiation, there will be nothing. And the next phase established ongoing supervision and communication. Well, a long time ago, when there is no technology, number 5 was very difficult. But today, it is very easy. So number 1, establish ongoing supervision and communication. So communication now can also be done anytime, yeah, timely, without you know, span of the time, without going to you know, in person or, you know, face to face. So number 5 is now, I think, is the easiest one to do. And then number 6 is make commitment for the long haul. So number 1, find partners with a set vision and goal, because without set vision and goal, it is impossible for making an understanding. Mutual benefit, mutual understanding is the key. Then remember, leadership matters. So don't send only a small step to negotiate with other party for global negotiation or global collaboration. It will be useless. And get creative money and donation by using our own also budget allocation in our own university and write, so that we can also get what we have to do in the future, and then we can have the document to learn, and establish ongoing supervision and communication and make commitment. So set values based on the fields or topics discussed for mutual collaboration among universities and colleges, that innovation with the knowledge and skill to address the complex issues facing in the normal era, but now the new normal era. Innovative entrepreneur equip human resources with skill of being able to recognize and draw attention and ensure the effective utilization of novel product. So novel product meaning that after, you know, having a visit and observation to universities and all industries, then we have an idea that is to be done for collaboration and the project. Human resources for addressing the economic situation. Yeah. So innovative consciousness and its benefit of partnership. So here are some of the tips. And education system based on the shared values among countries can also be used for making us, you know, collaborate together, and human beings around the world are the same with set values, so that I, you know, give to the guarantee with you, yes, we can do together, we can also learn together, and we can create together our output or graduate with the global vision and mission, with the global values and the global scale for collaboration. So this is the references that I got from the you know, for making my ideas with this topic. Thank you very much, and hope that what I have already done presented to you will be very important, and we can also do collaboration together after this. Thank you. Bye bye. I give it to the committee.